y'all. Shout out to the room.
From the east to the west coast, two friends who laugh the most. One's the fire, one's the wave. 2 points of view colliding. Hey,
you know we do. It's Wednesday.
Tash and Chala.
Hump day, let's go.
Tash and Chala. Hey. Tune in, I feel alive.
Hey.
Tash and Chala. Feel the beat, let it thrive.
That's right. Tash and Chala.
Oh, oh, oh.
If you knew. What up? Shout out to the room. What up, chat? What's good with you? Shout out to everybody. I see Cole, you made it over. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Who else made it over? I see Bestie. I see Mrs. Preston. I see Cole Green. I see Sheila. I see Red Velvet, aka Aruba. I see all you guys. Man, that's one of my favorite shows back in the day. I ain't gonna front. Romper Room was the shiznit. I remember my mother took me there live to actually, I think I was a part of the show when I was a kid. At one, one show, not like a part of the cast or nothing. What's up, y'all? It's crazy because I was, when we were like kind of prepping right before we went live, just now, I had to go run to the bathroom and take a pee break. And Tash was, here, what we call the green room. And we were kind of chatting, and I'd be like, oh, I'll be right back. I came back. She was gone. So I don't know what Tash is at, actually. Yeah, so you know how I go. You know how we do. As long as there's me, there's you, we're gonna push through. Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have an arrival. Hi, Tash. Oh, she got a party going on tonight. Look at the disco.
From the east to the west coast, two friends who laugh the most. One's the fire, one's the wave. 2 points of view colliding. Hey, on stage, on vibe, Tash and Chala.
Yeah.
Tash and Chala.
Ain't she fancy?
Hey.
You go, girl. I see you. Work that.
Tash and Chala. Feel the beat, let it thrive. Tash and Chala. Oh, oh, oh.
What up, Tash?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good. Microphone check.
We hear you. No, we hear you.
Is this motherfucker on?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
I hear you.
All right. Shout out to the room, everybody.
My bell is loud as all hell.
It is. It's super annoying. Shout out to the room. Shout out to everybody. We are in one place, one vibe. Tash and Chad live. You like what I did?
Look at you, man. Isn't that what? Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just happy to be here. Shout out to everybody. I had a little bit of a mishap. I don't know what happened. I know you went to the bathroom and I came back and I was gone. And I was like, okay, this ain't working out. This didn't do what it was supposed to do. What happened? So I don't really know what happened, but I had to really quickly get to it. So I apologize for being slightly delayed. But yeah, because remember I was sitting here. When you saw me, and you said I got to go to the bathroom. I said that's cool. I got to go do something too, and I came back and I was like, what?
Hilarious. Hold up. This is interesting. First of all, to the Nigerian Nightmare. That's a funny ass. I just gotta post that right there.
Is this the Candace Owens and I'll take it though, because that's really that's a great compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to you. That was
yeah. Great. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the room, everybody. Today is our Wednesday show. So today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
December 10th.
Yeah. I go by the name of Chad, also known in some of these streets as Chad Dr. Seuss Elliott, also known as DJ Silver C, also known as Rico Smooth Cat Daddy Suave.
Stop lying. I gotta shut you down.
Yeah. If you don't know, Google me, bitch. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, ego. I love his big ego.
I just put that out there.
Oh my God. Well, I am Natasha Simona, also known here as Tash. I am the Tash to the Tash and Chad. I go by AKA Mom, AKA Bitch. I'm kidding. I go by nothing else other than Natasha, Tash, or Mom. That's about it. So if you want to, call me something else like wife, fiance, Mrs.
It's going to cost you a lot of fucking money.
It's going to cost you a lot, but it's also available. I'm happy to be here. I know for those of you that know me, you can definitely hear I don't sound normal, but just act normal. And if you are new to us and this is your first time here, I apologize in advance. I usually do not sound like this, but we gonna get through it in the name of Jesus. So sit back, relax, and for the next hour and change, you're just gonna listen to me and my bestie talk about everything and nothing at the same goddamn time.
Oh, go ahead.
What? No,
I wanted to bring a couple of things to your attention that I'm noticing right now. So if you look in the comment section, you can now see there's a phone icon next to those that are watching from a phone.
How lovely.
Right? Okay, but wait, hold up. So for those, because what I'm realizing is that people are struggling slightly with this new what do I call it? This new format. That's the word I was looking for. This new format that YouTube is offering. Unfortunately, they're gearing up for something new. So when they start doing that, they are implementing, new things. So what they're doing now is they're implementing the portrait and landscape mode viewing. The portrait mode is really designed toward the iPhone or phone. This is a mobile user, okay. And landscape is really for those who are watching on computer or smart TVs, so on and so forth. With that said, you as the viewer has the option. So if you don't like how you're seeing us right now, you can just go out and then click on the one that doesn't have the little phone icon next to it. So you as the user, when you go into YouTube now, you will start to see this little icon that looks like a phone that you will be able to choose between. So, and the cool thing about if you're watching it in landscape mode, for me, my preference is landscape mode. If you're watching it in landscape mode, you just turn the phone sideways like this, and then you'll see us like that. Because when it's like this, it's how you see it now, but smaller. But if you just change it to landscape, then it will spread it. You'll see more of Tasha's legs and things of that nature. because that's why you see us from breast up. But if we turn it that way, I'm naked from the waist down. You can see that, and Tasha is also.
Okay.
Yeah, just thought I'd share that.
Chad,
Huh?
did you tell these people to be able to see my legs? You know I'm already having an influx.
Yeah, I so here's what I'm thinking. I know that, we're kind of new onto the scene, especially over here in YouTube. And I think one of the things that's going to help performance of our show, along with, this great quality banter, which is, what we try to provide to people. What I'm thinking would also help is that we get a second camera for your feet.
Like a foot cam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who prefer to watch your feet
Wow.
while we do the show.
Wow. Yeah, no. How about no? Shout out to everybody that seems to be finding your way to me because of the soles of my feet. It has come to a point where I'm really considering this. It's getting to a point. It's gotten to a point. Every day, no short of 10 messages.
Listen.
And comments and messages combined. How much for the soles of your feet? And I think there's a subliminal in there somewhere because, that whole sell your soul thing, it spooks me a bit because I literally will get how much are those soles? And I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah. No, they want your souls.
Bad. Like, what is it about the soles of my feet that are so desirable all of a sudden? But you know what, baby? I'm going to ride this wave. I think I'm going to have to ride this wave.
I didn't know it was really such a thing. I mean, I knew people were freaky about feet, but the soles of your feet? And when I say feet, I mean toes. But now you're telling me that
now
soles are your feet.
And here's my thing, right? By no means am I a foot fetish kind of girl, but I like feet. Excuse me. I like feet. I like good feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here, but like I have some girlfriends who have beautiful, like their feet are aesthetically pleasing. They've got like the perfect toes, the perfect length. The second toe isn't like, towering over the first toe. They're all beautifully aligned. The beds are beautiful. Do you know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate a good foot. Okay.
Hey, whoa. Wait. This is not an X-rated show. What the did you just do? What was that?
What did I do?
You just stuck your thumb clear down the gag threshold just now. Like, how did you even, what? What happened? What was that?
First of all, if you just act normal, nobody would have noticed that I even did that. The girls know. The girls who know, you get that right around your mouth when you put on lip gloss. I got that so I took it off because there's nothing worse than watching a lady talk and you get that the white receding thing.
Hey, you stuck your thumb with an
and that's so you get the look. Yeah, that's a trick, and that's what takes it away.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm scared
because the base of your thumb, like right there, like that chicken bone part.
Oh my God.
Chad, thank God you don't have a daughter.
Oh God.
Thank God. Put a one in the chat to all my ladies, and maybe I've got some men who have interesting lives and they wear lipstick or lip gloss, but put a one in the chat if you know exactly what I did. Don't be weird. And Big Set is here too. All you're doing is activating him.
And Set doesn't know anything about what you're doing either. Okay.
Well, birds of a feather flock together.
For the two men full of testosterone in here, we have no idea what you're doing.
Well, it is very clear with the ones in the chat. Everybody knew what I was doing. It's okay because my straw isn't big enough to. Anyway, hot shot of the day. I just saw something that my my ex. Oh shit! My phone is severely soaking wet. I don't mean like that. I said I said hot shot of the day and picked it up, and my phone was sitting in a puddle of water. or tea. I don't know. I guess something spilled over here.
There's another man in the room. Mess, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And
Ooh,
if there are any other real men in the building, please just throw a 2 in the building, 2 in the air, please.
I believe I saw Bestie writing in here, and Bestie doesn't wear makeup, as far as I know.
But he's also not going to put number 2.
Bestie will put number 2.
No, Bestie's not going to put number 2.
I bet you he will.
Bestie, you better not put number 2.
Bestie will put number 2. Watch, it's coming. 5,
Pause.
4, 3, 2. Any minute now, Bestie. Don't disappoint me. See, he said I don't wear makeup too. Damn it. You better leave my bestie alone.
The one gay man in the chat let me down.
Why? We don't know that Bestie is gay. That's crazy. Just because Bestie's name is Bestie and we know that Bestie is possibly Bestie could be playing with all of us. Bestie, for all we know,
his name is Bestie.
Yeah, but Bestie is unidentifiable. We don't know if that's a man.
No, we all know when women say that's my bestie and it's a man, he's gay. He better be gay.
Yeah, but we don't know if Bestie is gay.
All right, Bestie, you ready for this?
Bestie never even identified himself or herself. I just said him because I'm from an era where everybody is a him until they're a her. So we don't know if Bestie is sitting there.
Hold on, he just said he's a part-time gay. I don't do sex.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God, what is going on here?
Bestie is probably the baddest bitch in the room right now. Natural, no BBL. So when we pull up and we see Bestie, I don't know if I'm gonna get the hottest in the room or if I'm gonna get the hottest bitch in the room. I'm just prepared. So leave my bestie alone. Hey, boo thang. Wow. How you doing? Or how you doing? Or hey. I love Bestie's a mystery.
Ah, man. Shout out to Bestie.
Shout out to everybody. What? You know what? I have to say this. What?
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No. I swear.
No. I swear. Go ahead. It's okay.
And I swear.
Go for it. Say what you're gonna say.
I want you to talk first all the time. And I swear. Say what you got to say, or else I'm going to start talking.
Oh, my God. Please talk. By all means, talk.
So I want you all to know that when we started this show, to all of our natural regulars in here, and, I guess to the newbies that are here, you can follow along as well. But so I am going to say something to the majority of the room already know. So give me a second here, right? Tash and Chad, we are not new. We're just back again. And so coming back meant we either wait till we have a certain level of perfection, whatever that looks like. Not whatever it looks like, but to us, or we just hit the fucking button and come back and build perfection with everyone. And, it's almost like we're all building this house together. And so we decided to do that because we felt like our core audience is what even built us in the first place. And so us trying to build perfection without the people who helped us build what we had before, which we all collectively thought was great, was weird. And I know I probably said that with no punctuation or pause, but I know our people get it. So with that said, as we are building this out, there's some real life mayhem going on in my world and in Chad's world that we will not discuss right now. But know that when we sit here, and even though it looks chaotic, it is more chaotic than what it looks, which says a whole lot. So the chaos that I'm dealing with is damn near unfathomable. And the chaos that Chad is dealing with is damn near unfathomable. So I'm taking this pause to give us that breath of, we're doing this. I'm taking this pause to give gratitude to those who show up in our mess that we visibly put out Sundays and Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Because it is far worse than you can ever imagine. And one day we will more than likely share in hopes of helping so many more people that, look like us. We're just not in a space to share. There's something that we're working on that we absolutely will not say more of beyond this point, but I am so excited. And it's hard for me to express my excitement because of my suppression that I'm dealing with. But I'm so excited. And I was talking to Chad before this, and he's like, damn it, woman, can you preserve the energy that you have? Because I know you have none, and you are just giving it all away to the planning of this. And I need you for our show that's happening in an hour. I'm like, mind you, what do I sound like, Chad? I'm like, and I'm on the side of the road trying to help somebody not get into a catastrophic accident.
I'm like, who are you right now? Take your cape off. Excuse me. There's a guy whose car is in the middle of the road and he's stranded and he's gonna have a really bad accident. I'm like, what the fuck? Get to we got a show to do.
So I'm talking to Chad, and literally I'm talking to him, and we're going through the process of this really, really cool, amazing thing that I can't freaking wait. And I'm oh my God. Beep. And then, I go ahead and block off traffic, and I'm like, are you okay? Chad, he can't speak English. Oh my God. AJ, call 911. And Chad was like, are you dead serious? I'm like, yes. And I'm like, the CHP, California Highway Patrol, is right down the road. And I zoom over there, and Chad was like, are you really at the CHP? Yes, I am. He's like, and you have 911 on the phone? 911 goes, please hold. Let me connect you. I'm like, well, who the fuck was I talking to? 911 goes, please hold while your call is being answered. We are very busy right now. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I run inside. I'm like, excuse me, somebody is going to get into a really, really bad accident at blah and blah. And Chad is like, woman, they got it. Leave.
I was completely thrown. I mean, meanwhile, the guy's like battery's dead or something.
I don't know what it is, but I just knew he was going to get into the accident. But that was a sidebar to what I was saying. I am super duper 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 excited for all things Tash and Chad, because the amount of work that this guy is putting in, and where I'm able to jump in, and now that I'm formulating and I'm coming to when Tash is finally here, it's super exciting. So sit back, relax, put on your seatbelt, because this is really going to be, it's blowing my mind, and it's a lot of fun ahead. So thank you for allowing us to be here. And what's to come is like I almost want it, I just fucking be here. Can you be here already? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? You ever get so excited for something that you're doing that you're like, fuck, can we just get to the finish? Can we be done? You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel when I meet a new girl. Can we just get to it already? We past the formalities and let's just get to the business. That's how I feel.
Moving forward, can we have a beat break, please?
A 1, 2.
Coming to the stage is DJ MC Pooh.
Oh Lord, there we go.
God, I can't even get that low.
I don't like that. Go back to that. Hey. Hey. And all. What? What's wrong?
Someone said, where is my effing hoodie? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Y'all just wait for it. Wait for it. So the reason why I decided to keep our stream centered here is because I just wanted to see something real quick, and I'm cool. I'm comfortable right here. Do you feel like going across the street right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I don't have anything to talk about in entertainment, nor do I care to. But do you have anything planned? What all is down there? What house cleaning do you have?
Nope. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. I'm gone, y'all.
All right. Well, that's the show, everybody. Fuck it, we're done. We don't have shit to talk about. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Man. I was talking about this earlier. I'm getting ready to launch another side hustle.
Okay, stop right there. I'm gonna use this moment to grandstand a little bit. I have a feeling the reason why you're smiling is because you know what I'm about to say or do or no or have a feeling.
I don't actually. Yeah, you're full of surprises, so it's hard for me.
Put a 1 in the chat if you are vintage Tosh and Chad. If you are vintage Tosh, do you have a feeling now?
No, I still don't, but I know that we just spoke about that as well. So, but
okay. If you are vintage Tosh and Chad, put a 1 in the chat. Is there anyone who knows where I'm about to go? If you know the direction I'm about to go in, right after your boy said, I have a new venture, put a 2 in the chat. Yeah, I'm doing something. Put a 2 in the chat if you know exactly what I'm about to do based on the context clues. Let me see who, or just type it out. I don't know what all of y'all is doing if you can type, but I just want to know because I'm about to go in for 5 seconds before you go ahead and launch your new side hustle. I knew Bestie. Yep. Cole Green is in the house. Oh, okay. Our vintage Tosh and Chad crew. Oh, I love Damn, I know I'm over here being silly and I'm about to joke around and bust his chops. But the fact that we have vintage Tosh and Chad, like home team people, and so many people that know what I'm about to say, that joint almost made me like tear up a little bit. Y'all really rock with us. So, Chad, we ain't nothing but brand new in this motherfucking. You about to start a whole new venture, huh? Mm. How much of that percentages am I getting? Because I want half. I want half. What's the problem with me being Chad 1.0? What's the problem? I'm feeling myself. I'm Chad 1.0.
Anyway.
Nah, I'm kidding with you. But shout out to you and your new venture. Mm-hmm. Shout out to everybody who knew and was like, oh, she about to do it. Yeah, I definitely want half. Nah, but go ahead. Start over. What's your new venture, homie? I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this too.
And again, this is not a real announcement. This is like a preliminary. This is an exclusive for our family. Because we're really not ready to talk about the launch yet. But as I was telling some of you guys on the live before Tasha rudely interrupted and then got off the live. I am putting together it's a podcast, but it's a music review podcast, and I'm going to be calling on some of my my friends like Vincent Herbert and Jermaine Dupri and Daniel from Division and my man D-Mac and Mark Pitts and my man Dada and all of the really my man Eddie Blackman. It's a lot of really talented music execs that really know what they're doing and have kind of, because of the way the industry has moved, have not been pushed to the side, but in some regards have lost their importance in terms of what they actually do. Like a lot of guys I know now have been reduced from being true A&Rs to like, A&R admin, right?
Mm.
People who, shuffle the papers around, get the deals done, look at the analytics and, go from there, which has very little to do with the true definition of A&R. And what we need to understand is that without the A&R, the music business does not exist. The foundation of a record label is the A&R staff, and it's always been that. So I'm going to be putting together this little jammy here called the A&R meeting.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. It looks a little spin-off-ish. Excuse what? I know you.
She said a little. That's actually that's Atlanta though. It's Atlanta skyline there.
Jermaine Dupri, come to the front of the class.
Hilarious.
Vincent Herbert, come to the front of the class. What's all the name of the people he said? Bobby, come to the front of the class. What's the other man you said?
Bobby, you're hilarious.
It looks like, that is Atlanta skyline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks good. I actually really like that. Chad.
Came out good. It's very cool. So we're gonna, focus on, so one of the things I gave an example of some of these new artists, like Division. Although Division was signed to OVO. Before that,
OVO is in Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's a funny little story we'll talk about as well. Thank you guys. Let me get out of this right quick. Go back to our that's not our regular. Okay. Hold on. Interesting how things happen sometimes, right?
Excuse me, everybody, while we
let me just go back here and there we go. And then hold on.
I need to be over there.
Bang. Okay. So what's happening with some of these new artists, most of the new artists, because there is this there's this movement of independent artists that are signing to other distributors and, just creating music and putting it straight to the DSPs and, putting it out. They have not gone through the true process, and they're missing out greatly on what it is to have a really, really incredible A&R by their side. And when you pay attention to the playing field, from as far back as we could go to today, we're all talking about the lack of great music. And yes, part of it is because of how the structure of the music business has changed, and it is really, a metric driven business when it comes to finding artists. We don't care about the quality of the music. We care about how many followers you have, how many streams, how many likes and plays and all sorts of things. And, that qualifies you to, be upstreamed into one of these labels or distribution houses. And you just continue to process, put it out. Your fans become your fans, and hopefully, they spread and, your fan base grows from there.
Mm-hmm.
But what ends up happening is that the relationship between the artist and the audience changes, right? So now, as an artist, you are solely relying on your audience to dictate your music, right? And a creator should never do that. A creator never relies on someone else's view of them, right? Your ability is one that's very unique, and it is the ability to take absolutely nothing and turn it into something and present that to the world. And if it's of quality, people will gravitate to it, right? They'll love it, they'll embrace it, and off to the races. So what's truly been happening is artists are not pushing themselves creatively to the next level because they're really focusing on what their fans are saying and waiting for. And when we made records, by the time you got it and heard it, loved it, it had already gone through so many layers in the process, right? Again, from you walking in the door to, with your raggedy sneakers on and, your bad teeth and your bad hairstyle and your bad wardrobe, and your semi good music choices, but you had a really great voice. So right. The A&R is the one who had the most responsibility at that moment to begin to polish up that artist.
So developing, basically.
Artist development. Absolutely. And that was really the game changer. I mean, Alicia, Mary, Jodeci, Usher. I mean, all of every single artist that we have come to love. And I mean, go further back. Look at the Jacksons, right? Look at Beyonce. Look at, Destiny Child. They were children. And, their fathers or A&Rs and those who understood what needed to be done really did an amazing job with them. And it's just something that it's a skill. It's something that does not need to be left behind. So the A&R meeting will do just that. It will help new artists, songwriters, even executives, producers try to, I guess, like recalibrate this process and make sure that the A&R, the person who actually can vision this and hear the quality of the song, get back in the loop again and just do what it is that they do. And their gift is not being an artist. Their gift is understanding the artist. Does that make sense?
The A&R's gift.
The A&R's gift is not to be the artist. It's to understand the artist and the art of the artist and the landscape, the fans, the next thing.
100%.
Be able to, foresee that and, have that vision, and that's something that, again, we want to reestablish and promote and just kind of be a part of and set the stage for those who, really appreciate, music, the music business and the quality of it. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be reviewing music live on, all the formats. You'll be able to upload and we'll see everything. We'll talk about it. We'll give you our thoughts. If there's something amazing, Vincent Herbert's working on Lady Gaga, the new Lady Gaga, and Jermaine's working on Division, and if there's something hot that comes through, you best believe that song will be placed on one of these acts. And if you're an amazing artist, you never know. You might get signed to Vincent. You might get signed to me. You might get signed to so. Who knows? We don't know. We don't.
What?
Yes. What?
Run through who they possibly going to be signed by.
Say what?
You said they might be signed to who and who and who.
No, why do I need to repeat that again?
So the people know. Aren't you advertising the show?
I'm not really. No, I'm just kind of talking through it. But
I'm sure somebody missed that. So they might be signed because I didn't hear you probably. I don't know if my headphones came out a little bit.
The Vincent Herberts of the world,
and
and the Jermaine Dupri's of the world,
and you said, and you,
and the Chad Elliott's of the world. Yeah. I gotta get some new sound effects because I definitely need like some gunshots or something. Yeah, definitely. But yeah,
this is exciting.
Yeah.
Where do I come in?
Where do you come in?
Yeah, what part? What I didn't hear a role for myself.
I'm sure there's a door or two that lead to different places that you could.
Because when Sean had making the band, he had Lori and all of them in there. And they all had positions. His friends had positions on the show. So
yeah, you're right. You could. Yeah, I don't know. We'll first start by just giving you a bullhorn, and then we'll go from there.
I feel left out always, always. Every time you and Jermaine play, and now, you know, Daniel, I don't know, I don't, now Vincent, like, y'all just leave me out. Y'all just put baby in the corner. It's just so mean.
Baby sis got to go chill sometimes, but you know, we'll make sure you're good though. We're gonna make sure you're good. That's for certain. Little sis will be good. Promise you that. Put me in the group chat. That's hilarious. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's black.
I just be feeling all by myself because, you know, I call you, you don't answer. Call Vince, he don't answer. I call Jermaine. I go straight to voicemail. My nigga got me blocked.
Yeah.
It's all right. And then y'all all call back at the same time. Hey sis, how you doing? Nah. Y'all was just on the phone because why y'all all calling at the same time?
Don't be so sensitive.
It's okay. I'm gonna find something else to do. You wait. It's all right.
Don't be so sensitive. Anyway,
I'm proud of you though.
thank you. Moving right along. That's all.
No. You know, I do have a question though when it comes to artist development and all of that. Because I remember those days. I remember it all. And we had, you know, we cater to an audience of a certain age, and I know, you know, that's just the era we all come from. And to see that not happen, and you know, I have, you know, the young people come to me and, can I give you my tape? And you know, there's still some cats out here hustling like they used to hustle in Times Square, except instead of trying to sell you their CD, they're trying to get you to scan this code to go to their digital library. And you know, so same hustle, just different source of where to listen to the music. Now,
don't scan that shit though. I'm just letting you know right now.
Correct.
Don't scan nothing.
Yeah. Correct. My question, and this is almost like I'm going to assume that you all have seen the need for this within because of your levels of expertise. However, is it something that is wanted versus you all seeing the need versus this generation even wanting and appreciating what you're doing?
Well, you know what it is? It's been one of those things that artists really probably never really understood. Like, you know, when an artist, I'm almost 100% certain that an artist at any point over the last 30 years wanted to be an artist and said, yo, I got to get my music to that label.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thought of an A&R or what an A&R really was, or even if they knew, I got to get this to this guy who's an A&R over there, never really understanding what an A&R does. I remember walking into Clive Davis's office one time, and he had CDs, cassettes, and I think I said this on our previous show when we were doing Tash and Chad at the beginning, but he used to have cassettes like stacked, like everywhere,
like a monument almost.
Everywhere, his desk, everywhere was full of cassettes, CDs, whatever the medium was in use at that time, was it 8-track, whatever it was around. And every day he would go through music and listen to music and listen to music and listen to music and listen to music. And he's looking for that song. Looking for that next song, literally. And in 2017 or 2018, and at this point, I want to say Clive was in his late 80s. I think, I could be even a little older. Don't quote me on the age. I know that he was somewhat on his way out. He wasn't really running anything, but he had an office still in the Sony building. They gave him an office in the Sony building,
like probably for formalities.
And he had secretaries, everything still sitting there, you know. And as I'm walking to go say hello to him, I hear the music pumping. And I'm, you know, I don't know who's in there. If he was in a meeting. I walked. I saw the assistant. Said, "Hi, Chad. He's available." I walked in. He was in there by himself. Music pumping, system crazy. Just listening to music.
Wow.
So, my point is, we just don't really. They don't understand. The artists don't understand. This is something they've never done before. I mean, the process of even recording, they're learning how to do it totally different today because of the technology. But, some of the earlier techniques still,
Yeah.
they still, they have weight. They still are things that you could utilize to make your music better. Even when it comes down to recording, I remember talking to Daniel, member of Division. He's, he, like everybody, loves Jodeci, but he's from an artist standpoint, so he studies this shit like it's encyclopedia, like he's in a class. And I'm sitting there telling him step by step on how some of these things were done and recorded, and I'm looking at him and I could hear it in his voice, like he's like just dumbfounded by some of the things I'm saying, because it's hard to believe that we put that much effort into making music.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. And I tell, I'm in obviously a different world, but utilizing a microphone, right? And I tell people today, the young people, the youth of today, that the dedication that we had, that our generation had, couple that with the technology and access, music would have never tarnished, because we came from an era of discipline. We came from an era of respect. Yeah. We came from an era of understanding progression and the that whole corporate scale, and respectfully, not respectfully, but respecting the people who came before us, so paying homage. And this generation doesn't have that level of appreciation and discipline. Yeah. And this is the microwave society over here. Everything is fast. Everyone is better than the next person. No one is trying to work together. No one is harmonizing, listening, understanding, none of that. Respecting the craft. There's no respect of the craft. And so I think and that's obviously because we're living in this era now. So hindsight, it's like, damn, if we had this back then, and in a positive conversation, what we would have done and what we could have done, and damn. And so, I feel like it takes a small and special group to understand that. Like, I've even shared with you a young man who I took under the wings as my godson. And he said, I want to be a rapper. No. He said, I am a rapper, right?
Right.
I said, let me hear what you got. And so he played me a song, and I was like, okay, it's cool. It was the first thing I heard. It wasn't complete bullshit, but I was just like, it's okay. So I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at his style, and I'm looking at his demeanor. I'm listening to his story. So that's another thing. These kids today have no storytelling functionality to them because they don't read. They have not experienced the same life that we experienced. So the things that they're rapping about, it's almost like Cat in the Hat-ish, but it's even worse. And so I'm like, huh?
You're right.
And so, I'm listening to his story, and I'm hearing the depths of his life. And then I'm listening to the music that he gave me to listen to. And I said to him, this is garbage. And he goes, wow, why would you say that? I said, everything sounds the same. Your life story is nothing of what you are actually rapping about. You're actually rapping about a life that you don't even live. So what you're doing is taking the stories of other people, and you're putting it into what you would perceive to be a quote unquote hit, but you're doing what somebody else did already. So that already disqualifies your music, because somebody already did that, and the music is going viral and doing what it's supposed to do. So you already there goes a negative right there. So I said, you have so much about your life that you can pour into your music that would actually make you a bigger hit because you are young and this is your life. And, when you do your interview, so on and so forth, it will come through in that and in your music, and people are more amped to support that. Right. So he's listening. And I said, why don't I connect you with my good friend? And I'm talking about you and I'm giving him your stats. And one of the things I said to him, I said, and it's so funny, I knew he wouldn't know your name because you've always been a behind the scenes guy. And if anybody who knows you, there's okay, you know your shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I go, are you familiar with Swiss Beats? Right. Because I'm like, Swiss is very mainstream today.
Yeah, definitely.
I said, are you familiar with Swiss Beats? He goes, who's that?
Yeah.
I said, have you ever heard of a lady named Alicia Keys? And he goes, yeah, she sounds familiar. So of course, I start humming a couple of her songs. He goes, oh yeah, her. I said, well, her husband is Swiss Beats, but it's so strange to say it that way because Swiss Beats is he's a megastar in your world. Like he is and I said, for you as a rapper not to know him means you are a microwave rapper. You don't care about this craft. You see the success of these quick, YNs, and you just want to be that. So then he's kind of like being defensive. So I said, so I start naming people, right? And then I named Jermaine Dupri. He goes, no, I never heard of him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I go down the list of people who, one, I know I can call you and you could get these people on the phone, right? And then I just start naming people, like just anybody. Not like you can't get anybody, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped and I said to him, you need artist development, and I don't think you should continue until you are properly assessed.
Yeah.
Major pushback. Yeah. I said, I'll connect you. And I said, there's this guy. So then I start talking to you and I just go through your resume. And I said, you know what, let's pull up his music. And we're in my office at work. And I start playing all your music and, all the names that it's like, oh yeah, I did hear that. You know these people? And I said, I do. And I want to gift you direct access to these people to help you because you're lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I called you up on the phone. You remember, I called you up right away. And I was like, he's the next star. And I'm, pouring life into him and making him excited. Fast forward to today, he's put out a whole bunch of songs. Mm-hmm. That's all garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the unfortunate side of, what's...
And they think and you know what, Chad? They think you're not supporting them when you say that.
That's exactly what they believe.
And I'm like, I'm supporting you by telling you it's garbage. I could support you and tell you it's amazing and let somebody who you idolize tell you it's trash.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because it's, and I'm not saying this is right at all, but it seems like the process obviously has changed, right? And part of the process is just that, is just putting it out, right? No matter what it sounds like. And, I guess it's through the evolution for some, not for all, but it's through the evolution in that new process, which starts at song one, right? Where it would never happen that way, 30 years ago. But from song one to hopefully song 1000, you have, put this stuff out. You've grown. Each song has gotten better. Your audience has grown. And, you get to this, plateau that you're cool with. And, that's kind of what they're feeding off of, and that's what they're watching, and that's what they're seeing, because no one out there has a story to say, yo, I wanted to be an artist. I went and met with this guy. He started helping me, write great songs and making sure I was writing great songs. And then, I went to the studio and we produced and we made them. And then we went here and we put them. That story doesn't exist.
You mean with the new?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't exist anymore. That
And
story doesn't exist anywhere.
Right. Well,
I'm saying within this new genre,
okay. Right.
That story does not exist. That's not the story. If you go ask someone, yo, how did you do that?
They're like, oh, I was sitting in my room and then I put it on GarageBand and then I uploaded it to, whatever the independent streaming, and then, or I put my song on TikTok and,
That's it. And you know what? MySpace was the beginning of this, because MySpace definitely allowed people to go make a record, open a profile, put your pick up, put your song up, and you were an artist.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, the beginning of the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's when everybody starts sounding the same. They look the same. And so, a
whole lot of booty off of it. No,
I think, ew.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
I love the fact that you guys are taking an interest in doing this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it starts with the availability. So I did see someone in the chat in here. Someone said they don't teach music anymore. And the thing is that you're right. They don't teach music anymore. And so with my day job position, or I guess my part of my calling, we'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go on college tours. There's a lot of college prepping and planning for our juniors and seniors, but we start them from 9th grade, essentially. And I always have in my day, and I know, these kids think it's so funny. Oh, auntie, you really are auntie Tasha, because sometimes they think I'm their big sister, you know what I'm saying? And I'll kick it like your big sister, but then I'm an auntie you, right? And they're like, yo, you really old for real. You an old head, huh?
You really are an auntie. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, Tash, you're officially an auntie now. Go ahead, finish your thought, though. Just want to point that out.
That's so crazy. So,
Auntie Tash.
Yes. So I had the auntie conversation with them, and one of the things I stress to them is this generation doesn't read, right? And so they don't read because everything is so fast paced, and they're doom scrolling more than anything. They're doom scrolling, and they're getting caught in these viral videos that, infiltrate their brain on, instead of taking in the moment. And it's funny. And like how us old heads, we will share memes all day. You know what I'm saying? There'll be 500 memes and you're sharing that with your bestie and maybe 3 other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. On a side note, right quick though, to that point, you saw that Australia now is banning basically internet to teenagers 16 and under. So
you know what? I have a say about that. But let me finish my point.
Yeah.
When I talk to these students, I let them know that you guys have to read. So my play godson that I was just talking about, I said to him, we're going to read together. And he said, you speaking French? Because I don't know what we is. I said, that's the problem. I said, you're a rapper. I never see you pick up a book and read. I've asked you about several books that at your age you should have had on your shelf, with bunny ears in every single page, highlights throughout it, so on and so forth. I said, you will continue to be unsuccessful in your career if you don't pick up the word and understand how to put words together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he really did not appreciate, he didn't appreciate me sharing that with him. And he didn't understand why. And I said, because you have to learn literally how to formulate a sentence in order for you to put a rap out, because you are continually going to be talking about guns, drugs, syrup, death, free my pops, and bad bitches. And after a while, though, that rhetoric becomes exhausting, right? How do you formulate your life? How do you put that in a sentence? So, you know, when I tell people, I can always tell who's absorbing and realizing that the tools that I'm trying to give them or the tea that I'm trying to spill, they are lacking. You all, they're not encouraged to read. Like, remember over the summer and over the winter breaks and things like that, we had to read at minimum 4 or 5 books and had to do a book report on one and had to fill out the damn, you know, fucking packet to, you know, show that we went to the library or our parents bought the book or something like that. They don't do those things anymore unless you are in an accelerated program. Unless you are in an accelerated program, and you know what I'm saying, like my older son is in this magnet program. They still do that over there, but when you look at the general population that majority of these public schools have, they are no longer enforcing that these students read and write book reports and bibliographies and understand your history. These kids don't understand their history. So when you take someone who says, I want to be a musician, and you name them icons in their industry and they don't even know who they are. And these aren't dead icons. These are very well living and producing and still actively working.
Absolutely.
So I do, you know, I know this is a deeper, well, it's not deeper, but I know this brings it deep in the space of education. And I do hope that as your show develops, that you guys do some kind of a tour and hit these neighborhoods and zones where being a rapper is impressionable and the way out of the hood, right? And teaching the importance of reading, because that is reading, writing. You know, when you have these AI tools.
Yeah, I you know what?
Writing.
One of the things that a lot of artists, especially hip hop artists, don't realize, and unfortunately, they're not paying attention to the older generation anymore. It's like, you know, when we were growing up, maybe not you, although you're an auntie, you're still a little younger than I am. But some of
why do I get shade from both ends?
Some of our older viewers will understand this. Is that when we were growing up in a household, the music that our parents listened to became our music.
Excuse me. So my mom is a 60s baby. You don't think I was listening to Teddy Pendergrass and Anita Baker and Shaka Khan and Motown?
Okay. Let me get back to my point. You're right. Okay. So I retract my previous statement. But what's happening now is that a lot of today's children have grown up in a household, and the music history is not quite the same anymore. And one of the things that I've always recognized about some of the great rappers is that they were all highly intelligent. They may not have been A students. Most of them were. Most of the real Biggie, LL, Big Daddy Kane, like Latifah, like I mean, those rappers from that era really had a sense of pride in how they were writing and the things that they referenced, whether it been history, whether it been, you know, karate movies, culturally, you know, sound things, or, you know, just, you know, biblical things or historic things, or, you know, they just really had an awareness and knew things. Right? They really did know things. They were smart, and it came across in the way that they wrote their lyrics. Very much, to your point, how do you formulate great lines, right? How do you put these things together? And this generation is completely lacking that. And I don't know if it's the school system or if it's just the way that they are processing what they're learning in school. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
Seeing it firsthand and working in the school system directly, it is the schools, it's the homes, It is the programming on television / internet. It is society as a whole. It is literally everything. We cannot point one finger, and
I agree.
it is everywhere, and it is.
They're overloaded. There's a sensory overload that's just destroying our kids, man. Really, the gaming, social media.
When I tell you everything, so here's the thing. And there's not enough conversations that come across my timeline, at least, or maybe it's just not happening. The problem is that there is no problem. The problem is because there is no problem to put the programmings back in, right? The problem is, and I say there is no problem.
Yeah.
Right. What we're dealing with is control. What is the best way that we can implement modern day slavery?
Oh, yeah.
What is the best way that we can create lemmings? What is the best way that we can control most of humans, most of the human body?
No.
And so when you pay attention to the programming, when you pay attention to the rhythm of all of these things, and y'all know this is not quite my wheelhouse, but it's only but so long you can stay ignorant before you start. I got kids, right?
Ooh. That hat, girl. It's that hat. It's that hat. It's that crown you got on your head right now.
You're so silly.
It's that new Tash right here. That's what I'm talking about. Spit that fire, girl. Spit that fire.
So here's a comment right here. Somebody said Kai Cenat is the poster child for what these kids, what the kids these days aspire to be. They want to be content creators. No more doctors, firemen, nurses, lawyers, teachers. Yeah. I want to agree with you, and I will partially. This is not one person. Kai Cenat, I'm proud of him. And let me tell you why I'm proud of Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat made a way for himself because that is what was available to him. And he found his niche, and he found what the people liked, what he was comfortable sitting in. And he did what he needed to do to get himself up and out of where he was at and take care of himself, his family, his friends, so on and so forth. So I can't take that away from that man. He did what was given to him and available. Now,
He's a kid. Let's not forget that.
Okay. And you took that right out of my mouth. He is a kid. And what do kids do? What they know. And so the only thing as an auntie that I could hope for Kai Cenat is that he has a village around him that have morale, that can shape him and guide him to do good, right? Because that fame does dissipate. That fame will disappear because he is part of this microwave society. Now, the people coming behind Kai Cenat, like my 13-year-old son, I watch my 13-year-old son sit there and get mind fucked watching. He'll sit there like this with his friends on FaceTime, like this, watching the TV. And it's about 4, 5, 6 of them on the FaceTime, however many could go on here. And they are watching the same shit on a YouTube on their TV while they're on FaceTime. And you want to know what they're watching? Someone else play a game. And so I said to my son, I said, well, why don't you do the same shit? How much is the equipment? As much money as I do not have, I'll put that shit on a credit card and I'll buy you the equipment what you need, a desk, a chair, a couple of cameras. Cool. Because I said, do you play that game? He said, yeah, I play that game. And I said, so instead of being, zoned into this person playing the game and you're really paying him because, all these streams add up. It adds up to money and subscriptions. I said, why don't you do the same thing? I said, because this is what I do. Some people just don't have the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some people who just don't want to do it. They'll rather just watch somebody else do it. And so my son is a product of that. Now he's not going to get stuck because I'm his mom, right? But you have other people who don't have a us. They don't have a Chad. They don't have a Natasha. They don't have a, so on and so forth in the chat and anybody watching us. So it's up to us, the living that's still here, that was tapped in before when we were younger, because it does take a special kind to make sure that we incorporate the past in the present so that our future looks a little bit better, because these schools are not going to do it. And I work in the Los Angeles Unified Public School District. And I promise you, if my older son was not in that magnet program, I have been opposed to public schools. These big public schools, Los Angeles Unified Public School District and the New York City public school district there in New York City, those are the two largest school districts in the country. I think number one is New York and LA is right behind. They are neck and neck. The two largest school districts in the country, right? And with that said, they are the two worst districts that you can ever send your child to, because they are no longer in a space of teaching your kids for them to learn and absorb. All they are doing, they are programming your kids to go to school and take tests so that their data can look great. And they are no longer trained. There is no more home ec. They are pulling all kinds of quality programs out. If you are not in a top tier district within that district, AKA living in a tax bracket where funding is coming out of the rich that decide to put their kids in public school because they can control it with the tax dollars over there, you are in a lower portion of the district that gets zero funding.
Yeah.
And they are institutionalized and they train the kids to come to school, line up, sit down. Let's study for these tests because there's a test coming up. Let's study for the next test because there's tests coming up. And they have no more, there's no more teaching. There's no more depth. There's no more, getting you prepared for the real world. Everything is getting you prepared for the next test and the next test and the next test. And you're going to get in trouble. And you're going to go to detention and you have to sit like this and you have to stand up and line up, and there's no more communication and there's no more teen summit. There's none of these programs on TV, and there could be, and there should be. So to wrap this all in, when you watch these kids sit and consume the Kai Cenats, and they watch all this bullshit for hours and hours and hours. Do you know that there's a game called Brain Rot? There is a game called Brain Rot. And it is part of Roblox. And Brain Rot does absolutely nothing but do what, Chad?
Rot your brain.
And these kids, they sit there and they spend hours. Some of these kids will call their parents because there's an event happening and they need to get picked up from school because the creator of this game called Brain Rot is giving away brain rot to the people playing. And I have a friend and they spend hundreds. The father slides his kid hundreds of dollars so he can have more brain rot than his friend.
Yeah,
that is what is happening.
Yeah. What happened?
I made it. Woo! I didn't realize my computer wasn't plugged in. I almost lost everybody. So the fact that you have this kind of programming and the availability, that's why I said there is no problem. It's nobody is stepping up to the plate. So when people see what I'm going through with work and they keep asking, Tash, why are you so passionate? It's because I see what is not available to these kids and I see what is available and I see how easy it is that we as society, we as a community, we as the aunties and uncles that are still active and available and willing to change the trajectory of these kids. We don't need permission anymore. We can put this shit out right now if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think, Tosh, first of all, let me just say that it is really, really good to hear you talk like this. I think that
I hate you so
no, no. I'm serious. Like, we've had these types of conversations on past shows years ago, not recently, but years ago, and you had a different perspective. I wouldn't say you had a different perspective. I think that you were just like in the grit of it all. But now that you're involved and you're seeing the system firsthand, it's kind of like why I ended up leaving the music industry, right? It was only after I went into the music industry as an executive and learned how little the actual industry gives a hell about the artist that it was just a matter of time at that point before I left. And now that you're in the system and you're seeing it firsthand and you yourself are a product of it now. You are beginning to reposition yourself. And, you always say, politics is something that it's not your wheelhouse, but in order to handle and deal with what you're about to walk into, it will become a part of it because politics are really everything. Policies are everything. And it is because of politics and the policies that you're having the problems that we're having in these schools, or just in general. But I'm going to say this. I really, really believe that we have gotten to a place where we can no longer fight the system.
No.
No. Let me complete my thought.
Oh, sorry.
See, the problem has been that they got us indoctrinated into the system when we weren't, because we weren't a part of the system, but we got into the system and they at first said, we don't want this. And then they realized by letting us in the system, they can further control, right? We as Black people in this country, right? Our economic power spending is like 1.6 or 1.8 trillion dollars right now. We would be the 15th largest country, right? If we were to spend our money internally, right? Remove ourselves from the system. We could create our own system. We need to create our own system. We will not. It's not going to happen. They're not going to allow it to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. You could get passionate and you can start your fight, but you must be clear on what your journey is, because it is a better use of your resource. When you first started talking about what you were dealing with in that building, and I asked you, is this a white school, a Black school? It's majority a white school, right? And you're going through all of this for a small set of Black children that are in this school.
Yeah.
Say again? You say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
120 roughly.
Right. And my point to you was, you need to take your passion, your resources somewhere where it matters. And that is in a system that is either being designed specifically for what you want to achieve. And we all need to take that approach. And until we do, we're going to be in this really, really nasty rut that we are in, and it only gets worse. If you could grab those 120 kids and start some programs that are outside of that system, you will do them more justice than anything else.
Oh, 100%. I've already, going through what I'm going through this week alone.
Yeah. And you're an adult, right? You're an adult who can actually somewhat, use your critical thinking and respond in a way for, that you could, defend yourself.
Correct.
There are no advocates helping these kids. You're the closest thing to it in that school.
So when you see, you know, somebody says she doesn't want to leave those children, she's adopted all of them. Spot on.
I get it, but see, that's where you have to remove the emotional side of what you're trying to do, and focus on what you actually need to do. Because once you go and create it, go and create it. Because you can't spend another 5 years on dealing, or 3 years, or even 8 months dealing with what's in that small environment. Get out, begin to start preparing something new that they can come to.
So that's the plan. The plan, that's the plan. But the problem is, let's say I left tomorrow, right? And we all know I'm at my wit's end with that place, which is why I'm actively speaking out, because of how horrible and increasingly worse it's getting. Me leaving tomorrow means I leave those kids, and me being there, right? And I know it's deteriorating my health. The things that they're doing to me at that school is getting worse, and it's only but a matter of time before somebody, you know, does something physically to me at this point, right? The problem with me leaving those kids, y'all don't see what they're doing to those kids in the school. And I know that is not, it's not my fight by myself, because I can't. But when y'all send your kids to these schools and you think they're safe, they're not. And I see that. And I talk about it. And so if I go ahead, and when I do go ahead and I create things for them to come to after school, or a summit that happens once a year, right? That's a short amount of time for them to absorb whatever those programs and things are, but they still have to go to these institutions Monday through Friday, 7:30 to, 4:30, and, average, right? So what's happening during those hours when those doors are closed? And so it's just like prison. If I could imagine prison, that's what's happening in these schools. At least my school. That's what's happening there.
That's what it was designed after. There is no difference.
Right. So me being there, giving these kids the nutrients, right? Because they're not being nurtured. They're being treated like cattle. I work with so many people who hate kids. There's this one man, what are you doing here? Why are you here? The bell rang, get out, go. And he talks to these kids like they're a piece of shit, right? And then you have other people and you look them in the face and they are just dead in the eyes. There's no love, there's no warmth, there's no care. So when I have to experience that as an adult, and these kids see me, and I mean, I'm talking the toughest boys on the, football team running, Miss Tasha. Some days I hug them, some days I dap them up, some days we got a little secret handshake. But that's that love. You know what I'm saying? That's that energy that who else on this campus is giving it to them for real like that? There's kids living in shelters. They don't get hugged. There's kids whose parents are in jail, who they never touched in their life because their whole life their parents have been in jail. There's kids who are raising themselves because on paper it looks like mom is home, but mom is out of state, dad is dead, right? The school doesn't know that, but I do. And they trust me to know that.
Yeah.
So, and plus, right? And so when you take these kids who come from those environments, who have listen, shout out to the parent, to the kids who are coming from 2-parent households. Grandma is also there. They're able to travel and do all the things during the holidays and They already got gifts under the tree. They had a full plate of Thanksgiving. That's not to dismiss those kids either, because those kids deserve just as much love as well. However, when you are mixed in with kids who don't even know what it is to go home and smell their parents and touch their parents and feel that kind of love, but those are your friends and you don't even know it. Sometimes I'm in a room and these kids don't even know what that kid is going through. And that kid is smiling and kicking it with everybody because that's his or her only opportunity to feel normal, right? So when Miss Tasha's in the room, everybody gets rated. All right, let me rate everybody's fit. And I done rated some fits that was just, and I'm not saying that because their fit was, they were showing any body parts. It's just like, I know what they're coming from. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to rate their fit because you want to know why? They need to feel normal like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for me to go to school every day, because they're not getting that anywhere. And I fight for these kids, and I fight to teach them, keep going, open a book and read. Life is kicking your butt. Stop scrolling online. Stop looking at TikTok. It's going to depress you. Pick up a book and get lost in the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, listen, you I'm sure you know that you're not the only one that feels this way about these children. I think it's really about you aligning now. This gave you the opportunity, right? And that's how you should look at this. It gave you the opportunity to go inside the system and see exactly what is going on firsthand. And like I said to you, this system is way too big to beat or change or destroy. The only thing that you could do, and the only thing that we can do as people today, and this is not just the school system that I'm talking about. This is historically the system that has been put in place to control and manipulate the minds of the less, right? The have-nots for the most part. Even those that think they have, in all reality, do not. I think they just raised the new poverty number to like $140,000 or something in America, which is ridiculous.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. They're saying because of how inflation is rising, if you're making $140,000 a year, you could basically borderline poverty right now in America, which is bizarre. That is just insane, right? But my point is, you have been able to see what is happening. Now you have the influence, you have the resources. You have to get others to see your vision or join the visions of others that you can collab with and create things that these children can come to.
Well, that's why I think it's important what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the A&R meeting is just a small, part to the piece, or a small piece to the puzzle, should I say, in terms of where you could really go with this, right? Because it's really opens up for the conversation, and the conversation is all of this. The conversation is education. You can't skip these things. These things are important, right? And I think again, you have to stay true to your calling. I think you're coming into it. You're 40 years old. You just crossed into it.
And there goes the message. Everybody.
Let me finish my thought. Is that for the last 10 years prior, right? The prior 10 years, you have been finding your place as a woman, as a mother, and all of this. You left New York, you moved to Cali, and all hell has wreaked havoc on you. And I think now you seem to be in a better place to except for the other night. I questioned the other night when you were on live, and I was like, maybe I'll give it one more chance.
Wait, when I went off, or?
Yeah, when you went off.
Oh.
Yeah, when you went off on the old bag.
Yeah, old Tash. Old Tosh to the stage. Old Tosh to the stage.
And old Tosh ain't never gonna go nowhere. The new Tosh just has to, learn to better control the old Tosh. It's it's like a superpower. But I think that you are in this really special place now, where you understand what your role as a mother is and who you are as a part of society, humanity, and your purpose, your calling is coming, and your soul purpose, and not your soul of your feet, not that, but your real soul.
I appreciate that, Chad. I wanted to touch on something too. You had said, you made a point about fighting a system, and what I want to say to that is the same way we look at the development of technology and access and social media and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the revolution will absolutely be televised or streamed. And the same way we can develop and get on these spaces and put out shit like brain rot and these memes and sit and laugh and doom scroll and things like that. Mm-hmm. It takes nothing, right, to put those things out there. Like, you don't need permission anymore. We could create a whole new show right now in 10 minutes if we wanted to. In less than 10 minutes, we could call Junior. You could text him on a device, give him a name, and he could create a whole new show for us right now before we end this show. And there goes our new show, right? So the fact that it is so easy today to put things out, right? When we're talking about the musicians and the artists and things like that, and how easy it is to put things out there, means that we can put educational programming out there as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The problem is that I think, and I don't know if it's a Black thing. I don't know if it's a perfection thing. I don't want to put a color to it, but I think when it comes to educational things, it's like we just want to be perfect. I know we, as Black people, we have great pride, but I think the more we band together and put these conversations in these spaces and infiltrate these streams, that's us fighting the system.
Yeah, I mean, we first have to, admit that we're wrong and we need some help.
No, but here's the thing though. We've been admitting that. Now we just we have to flood these spaces. We just have to keep going.
We haven't been admitting. We've been accusing and blaming. We have not been admitting that we are fucked up from it. And that's the one thing that we have to do. We have to realize how much damage has been done. So that we can shake. It's like anything else. Like if you don't recognize you're wrong, how do you get better? Whether you're in a relationship or whatever it is that you're doing, and it's not going right, and you begin to reevaluate, you need to be able to look at yourself and be like, yo, all right, well, here's a weakness. This is what I'm not doing. I'm too caught up on this. I'm not doing enough of that. We don't do that as a people. We're constantly sitting on this perch of pride, and that is not going to work moving forward. And that's why we struggle with, organization and, things of that nature. And that has been a struggle. That's a weakness right there. I just mentioned it, organization, pulling together, working together. We struggle. Mm-hmm. We struggle. We go out, we try to party together. We get a little, toasty and shit go down. Shit is wild, right? Our kids are wild. Who's responsible? Can't keep blaming it on technology. You are a parent. You have to look at yourself and say, yo, at what point did I miss a step? What did I do? Was it the little toy phone that I gave him when he was 3?
No. Okay. Yes.
You gotta put that in perspective.
Yeah, but so this conversation definitely needs to continue, because the reality is that when my older son was born, this is when, DVDs and educational things on DVDs were, starting to get mass produced and brought around to the nail salon, things like that. And one day, real quick story, I was getting my nails done in Harlem. Shout out to Jenny. And my ex I was pregnant. And my ex came with me and he was sitting there and, I got DVDs. I got, homeboy. I swear to God, he opened up his coat and my nigga had DVDs. He had whatever he had up in his coat. And then he had a duffel bag full of DVDs. And, I'm big and pregnant, like I'm ready to give birth. And so he looked at my ex and he goes, this your lady right here? And so he said, yeah, he said, I got this new, your baby could read. Excuse me. And so I'd been seeing that in the infomercial, but it was like damn near $150, $200, right? And remember those infomercials and it's like, but you can pay blah, blah, blah and pay in installments. So I said to Abdul, I said, I think we should get that. And, he was with it, but not really with it. But we were very in tune. We literally had one vibe and one focus when it came to the education of our children. And that's one thing I really appreciated and still appreciate is that we literally have one vibe when it comes to the well-being and the educational prosperity of our kids. Mm-hmm. And so we went back and forth about this, your baby could read. And I was like, I'm gonna ask my mom to get it for us because I think it's gonna be great because it had a Mozart aspect to it and so on and so forth. But he was like, I don't want my kids staring at the screen. Right. So here comes Jerome in Harlem with his duffel bag. He got your baby could read for like $25. I said, babe, I'm buying it. Fuck you. So he's like, all right.
God.
So we get this bootleg your baby could read. Right. And it was a multi-DVD. I forget how many DVDs came in this thing. And we watched it. Before our baby was born, before our son was born, we watched it because we were like, let's see what this is. And we said, okay, this is cute. And we really enjoyed it. And from the minute our son came home, we would play that in the background. And till this day, I attribute that to a lot of the programming that we instilled from birth in our kids. So I'm sharing this because technology, while people like to point the fingers to the phones and technology, you have to be able to utilize it to align with your morale as a family unit and what you want. Yeah. And so we got an iPad and we taught our kid how to go to, and put on Beethoven at nighttime and put on the Philharmonic at nighttime. And that's what we played at nighttime when our children were babies.
Well, I gave CJ an iPad and he was watching Beat It Up Erica, and that's what he was seeing. He saw that, and then just his life was never the same. Like that's what he saw.
Baby Einstein videos. So while you was over there playing Mr. Marcus, I was playing Baby Einstein and your baby can read and,
Listen, so that is cool. But unfortunate, what happened during that time as well is that it began to be your child's babysitter. Right. And I'm not saying, again, I understand what you did. You are not the majority. And you know that.
Oh, for sure. But that's my point. I always share that.
That's what I'm saying about accountability. That's what I'm talking about, because most of us did not utilize the technology appropriately. We did not, especially those who needed to be in the club on Tuesday night or Wednesday night or Friday night. Because we didn't go out on the weekends. We went out during the week.
Listen, I really do think this is a conversation that absolutely should be continued because I'm a huge advocate when it comes to technology. And every time I see a parent swipe away a phone, swipe away iPad, I said, give that child back that technology. Now teach them what they need to, it's up to you to put that programming in there. Because I know when I was younger, I had a TV and a boombox in my room. And when my mom and my dad caught me watching MTV Road Rules and Spring Break with all them butts and sand on their booties, and I'm listening to, who came on at nighttime, Ralph McDaniels and so on and so forth, and, Mr. C and, I got in trouble because you need to be listening to, Frankie Crocker. You know what I'm saying? But my parents, so all of these things, on the radio, I want to sex you up. I had no idea what I was singing, but my mom definitely slapped my mouth and turned the radio.
Yeah. I mean, we already know you were raised different. I mean, you were raised in the outskirts of Brooklyn.
And on that note, everybody, this has been your favorite duo.
Let's go. You got some house cleaning to do?
We are officially 10 days away from Christmas. Woo! Y'all know I'm a big Christmas girl, so sorry about it, but I am not sorry. I love Christmas, so I do hope that everyone who loves the holiday season, you guys have your warmth in your house, and if chaos is happening all around you like it is with me, but you really love the holiday spirit and you just can't seem to find it in you because you either lost a loved one, your finances are just not where you wanted it to be right now, your house isn't where you want it to be, your job isn't where, all the things that you wanted to happen, it's not happening and it's taking you out of the holiday spirit. I want you to look at me. Woo, I want you to look at me. And just know that everything I just said to you is happening to me. But if I could sit here and I could smile and I could be excited for the break, I could be excited to do things with my kids. And if you don't even have kids, but just be excited for the peace and the moment and the season and just really dig deep into the time when you were able to be that person. I want you to really usher in those warm, fuzzy feelings and put something in your house that will bring that joy to you. Even if it's a matter of buying a bottle of Manischewitz from the store because it reminds you of your grandfather, or you buy some mistletoe and you ain't got nobody to kiss under that mistletoe, but baby, you just stand there and smile, or you bake some cookies, or you do something. Do something that brings some peace and makes you feel whole. Because during this season, there's so many people. We're all going through something. But I just want everybody that can hear my voice to feel some joy. That's all I got.
Hey, thank you all for joining us tonight on this hump day. My favorite day.
Nasty.
Until next time. We'll see you on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Oh God, Pacific. Here she goes. Really, Tash?
My finger puppet wants to say hi, Chatty. Look at her, him, it. Shit.
That nail looks crazy. Look like a big ass hat brim.
I know, right?
What the hell is that?
Hi, Chatty. How are you today? I'm so happy to see you. And I'm so proud of you, of your new show. But baby, my girl is in the back with a little bit of message. Here she goes. And on that note, Chatty, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you have liked our live. We don't know where you're watching us, if it's the mobile version or the landscape, but we're happy that you came. Make sure you like this live. Make sure you share it, because we've got so much in store and we'd hate for other people to be a bore.
Yeah. Why does your voice sound like that?
I don't know. It just made sense to the finger.
It was creepy sounding, actually.
Hi, boys and girls.
Yeah, you sound like that. That nail looks like it'd kill you with that voice. That's a killer.
Thank God it's dirty under there.
Anyway,
Anyway,
until next time, we love y'all. Love and light.
good night.
From the east to the west coast, two friends who laugh the most. One's the fire, one's the wave. 2 points of view colliding. One stay, one vibe, Tash and Chala, Tash and Chala. Hey. Tune in and feel alive. Tash and Chala, feel the beat, let it thrive. Tash and Chala. Oh, oh, oh.